Hi, my name is Mark Toll. I recently did a series of 3 Google Hangout videos with Carol Schlintz for Discover Mirrorless. They basically covered the settings for shooting video on a Panasonic Lumix GH3. I've received a few questions, not just since then, but in trade shows I've done, camera stores, people who have bought the camera have been emailing me. There seems to be a fair amount of confusion about when you're in the manual video mode versus the automatic video mode. So I'm not going to go into all the things that Carol and I covered. I think we went over those pretty well. I'm just going to do a real brief description showing you the controls on the camera of where you need to be set to be shooting manual or automatic video, whichever one you want to do. They both work great. So anyways, I hope this clears things up for people, and thanks for watching. So the main controls on the GH3 are on the mode knob. So of course we have intelligent auto, the standard things you have in almost any camera: the program mode, the aperture mode, the shutter mode, the manual mode, PASM as we call them. In these modes, if you're shooting video, which means if you're pressing the red button, which is right here on the back of the camera, and you're in any of these modes, you're actually shooting in the auto mode. So a frequent question I get is, okay, I'm in the aperture mode, and I've set my aperture, my shutter speed, my everything I do, my ISO, and then I push the video button and I'm getting manual movie, but it doesn't look like manual. The reason is it's not. It's basically the camera's taking over, ignoring all those. These are for taking still pictures. So avoid all these. If you want to use full auto, just put yourself in any of these. You can do things like go in and adjust the ISO, the flicker control for shutter speed, things like that. You can do some minor settings. But if you really want to do manual video, you have to go to the manual video symbol. Okay, so what I have now is I have my GH2 pointed at the back of the GH3, and I want to show you we're in the manual video mode, which you can always tell by it's up in the upper left corner of the back of the screen there. So now that I'm in the manual video mode, now I can go in, I can push the menu button. Carol and I think we covered all these other settings really well. I just want to focus on exposure mode. This is where I can choose my program, aperture, shutter, or manual. Let's do manual so I can show you all the controls. So if I choose manual, tap the shutter button to get into that mode, you'll see I have aperture and shutter speed down here. So now I can go in here and I can totally control my exposure using aperture and shutter. I have my histogram over here, I have my ISO here I can set. It gives me full control. So if I want that shallow depth of field, I can go down to f2.5. We can choose whatever shutter speed we want. There are, guidelines and rules to this that Carol and I talked about in the video. But basically, this is how you shoot manual video. The other settings you use, if you're in the PASM symbols up on the dial here, remember you're shooting auto video. You're not really controlling the aperture and shutter speed. Anyways, I hope this helps, and I'll see you next time.